So, if you noticed last week, there was no content on the channel. There was no preview video. No, we did react to the win against the Saints. Did we? I can't remember. No, we did not. There was none of that either. And there's a reason for that. And I'll go through that really quick. I had wrestled a couple Saturdays ago. I did two shows in one day. Had a little fluid on my elbow and it became infected. I spent some time in the hospital. So while I was recovering from that, I kind of took a week off of doing Eagles content. I really wish that I would have done it that week because actually yeah, because I thought the Saints win was a good win, and I thought that the defense had proved me wrong because if you remember in my reaction to the Atlanta video, I ripped the defense a new asshole. And it was warranted. And after today's game, it is completely obvious that what we saw in the Saints game when the Eagles went to the Superdome and the defense held a Saints team that put up 90 points in two games, when they held them to 12 points, three for most of the game, it's completely obvious that that was an anomaly, that that was something that was an outlier for this Eagles defense. Because what we saw today, what we saw this week in Tampa, and I hate you guys know I hate doing videos like this in the car. What we saw today in Tampa was the Philadelphia Eagles defense, and I'll get to the offense too. But I'm tired of the missed tackling. I'm tired of the missed assignments. I'm tired of the run lanes being wide open for these teams, for top wide receivers like Mike Evans to be wide open. I'm the no pass rush at all to even think about. I'm absolutely tired of it. It makes me sick. And listen, was I truly expecting an Eagles win today? No, I wasn't. And I don't think even the most optimistic Eagle fan would. They're missing A.J. Brown, who they teased us this week like he could possibly play. They're missing Devontae Smith. They're missing Lane Johnson. That alone makes it tough on this offense. I knew that the offense was going to struggle. I absolutely knew it. And I didn't think that the Eagles were going to come away with a victory. I thought maybe they might be able to squeak one out, but the likelihood of that was slim to none. But what I did expect was for this defense to give the Eagles offense a chance, for this defense to somehow look respectable. They didn't have to look how they did against the Saints, but at least a little bit respectable. And from the get, they let Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers like a knife through butter. That's how easy it was. Up and down the field. Before you even knew it, it was 14-0. So now what happens? You take away the Eagles' run game completely. Saquon Barkley, who is one superstar that they had in Dallas Goedert, and Saquon, man, if it wasn't for him, I don't know where this team would be right now. I really don't. Again, another video for another day. But now this Eagles defense or offense that can't win without Lane Johnson, now they have to pass protect. It seems like every single play. The defense. I can't. I just Baker Mayfield. The fact that we have to sit and listen to Tom Brady uh, commentate over a Bucks game that Baker Mayfield looks like Tom Brady and was ridiculous at that. Nakobe Dean, man, I'm so done with Nakobe Dean. I'm done with he. It's you rather get a decent Nakobe Dean or you get a bad Nakobe Dean. Say you get the bad Nakobe Dean, the Nakobe Dean that can't cover, the Nakobe Dean that can't wrap up. Avonte Maddox, excuse me, Avonte Maddox. I've seen enough. I've seen enough. It's over. Get this guy off my team. How many times do I have to watch him whiff on a tackle? And I follow John Blanchard on Twitter. I don't know why, but I do. And people, he's blaming Nick Sirianni. He's blaming the coaches. This is not on Nick Sirianni. There are people that are actually commentating under replying to my reply to him. I said, Sirianni doesn't make these guys miss tackles. Sirianni doesn't make Dallas Goedert drop a wide open or in your hands pass from Jalen Hurts earlier in the game before it got out of hand. And people are actually saying, oh, well, he makes the practices real light. And so Avonte Maddox has been in the league for how many years? It's week 4. By week 4, you should have the tackling thing down, I think. Open field tackle. It's not like these guys are Barry Sanders juking these dudes out of their shoes. These guys are missing wide open tackles. I love CJGJ. Love this guy. I love his moxie. I love his attitude. I love the X factor that he brings to the team. But how many times am I going to have to watch him, a wide open receiver in the friggin' end zone, and him trailing by 3 yards? How many times? And the bigger thing, the biggest issue that this team has, and I'm going to explain it to you right. I'm going to say this. You can click out right now if you want to. It's not Jalen Hurts' turnovers. It's not. It's not. It's the fact that the Philadelphia Eagles have absolutely zero pass rush. They're paying a guy in Bryce Huff something like $37 million a year. He's got one tackle in 4 games, not for a loss. One tackle in 4 games. Zeros all the way down. He picked the perfect number. Zero. What a waste. What an absolute waste of money Bryce Huff is. Meanwhile, you got Hassan Reddick, the guy that you just should have paid. Let's be honest, man. They just should have paid Hassan Reddick. The guy, uh, averaging 11 sacks a year. The dude is an absolute X factor for your team. Why are you not? What's up, Brian? Why would you not pay this guy? Instead, you trade him to the Jets. They're not going to pay him either. He's losing. He's already lost like $9 million. Just trade him back. Just do it. Fangio doesn't know how to use Huff apparently, and Huff has absolutely no motivation. Josh Sweat actually got a sack today. I mean, listen, Brandon Graham. He's an older guy. He should be playing every sack. And I look, you can go back in the archives here on my channel. I loved when they drafted Nolan Smith. I really did. I loved even more when I heard him talk. Just he can't play, man. Nolan Smith cannot. He is too small. I saw him get uh 88, I think is Croft, the tight end for the Bucks. Absolutely mollywopped. And it's the thing, the tight ends are blocking these guys. Absolutely mollywopped Nolan Smith. At one point they had him in coverage. What the hell is Vic Fangio even doing? It's just insane. Let's talk about Jalen Hurts, man. I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan. I think that he's one of the top quarterbacks in the league. Look, the Super Bowl was 2 years ago. It is what it is. You can't talk about him outplaying Patrick Mahomes. They didn't win the game, and he's just kind of been dog shit since. Let's be honest here. I said that the biggest issue was not his turnovers because the Eagles have not won the turnover battle in like 20 games. And they won last week. They win in spite of his turnovers. Is it a major issue? Absolutely. Is it the biggest issue? I think the fact that the defense can't stop anything, that I could run through the defense or I could catch a pass. I think that is again, it's a major issue. He's had a turnover in every game this year. I think the numbers, if you go back to last year, are bad too. At some point, and again, I was trying not to hear Brady, but at some point, like your awareness has to be there. If a guy almost sacks you and you move out of the way, do you just think this dude disappears? Do you just think Levante David disappears into thin air as soon as you step him? No, he's still there. You need to know that he is still there and get the freaking ball out of your hands and make sure it doesn't hit the ground. And that's what he does, man. And he almost had an interception a little bit. He had 2 fumbles, almost an interception. The offensive line was in shambles. And I hear these guys, man. Another thing that really annoys me, that really annoys me. I don't know how long some of you have been Eagle fans, but I remember the pickle juice game. Eagles go down to Texas, and it's what, like 110 degrees. And what does Andy Reid do? He knows that his guys are going to need more hydration. He has them drink pickle juice. You guys, I don't want to hear this excuse that I'm hearing a lot of the players already, seeing a lot of the players online saying, "Oh, it was hot. It was hot for the Buccaneers too. It was hot for the Buccaneers too." So Cam Jurgens cramping, Darius Slay cramping, Reed Blankenship with an illness. Get the out of here. Get out of here with that shit. It was hot. We were cramping. No shit. You knew it was going to be hot. You're professional football players, man. Making more money that some people could even dream of. And I'm not saying you shouldn't make that money because it's there. And when you're good, and we love you. But don't give me these excuses, man. You went into Tampa Bay and you got your ass kicked again. 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 And I sit here and I'm just like, man, I try not to get upset. And I watched the whole game, really not upset. Because again, I didn't expect to win. with all the pieces that you're missing. But there were times, man, when the game was there. There were times when the game was there. The Eagles put up. Here's another thing that absolutely drove me nuts, man. The Eagles finally score a touchdown. The defense gets a stop. Unreal. I can't believe it. The Eagles get the ball back with like a minute and 40 some seconds left in the half. And I look over to the sideline and I see Saquon Barkley and Dallas Goedert uh, on the sideline. The only two playmakers you have. And you're trying to have Kenny Gainwell in a 2-minute drill. Then what happens? You guys come back in the half. After the half, Saquon Barkley does what Saquon Barkley does, make big plays. Wow, imagine that. And the defense lets Tampa drive all the friggin' way down the field, man. Third and longs. It doesn't matter if you got them for third and long, man. With this defense, man, it does not matter. It doesn't matter because they're running right over you. I mean, it was embarrassing, man. It was an embarrassing loss. It was an absolute embarrassing loss. You know, we as Eagle fans loved to sit here and laugh at the Cowboys when they got destroyed by the Saints. This is the same thing, if not worse, man. This is the same thing. It really is, and I get it. No Devontae Smith, no AJ Brown. 60% of your production right there. Not there. Lane Johnson. This team just doesn't seem. I did not expect Fred Johnson in that heat. And again, I just said, hey, they're professional players, but this guy was almost out of the league. I didn't expect him to have a great game. I really didn't. It's I'm glad that they have a bye week. It's only week 5, and it feels like I've been through 8 weeks of this shit. I'm again to the people that blame Nick Sirianni for this. I just I don't. Nick Sirianni can't go out there and play wide receiver. He's not playing defense. He's not the guy that's not getting any pressure on the QB or that's missing tackles. You know, we sat here and all I heard over the airwaves was Nick Sirianni doesn't do anything. What's he do? He doesn't call plays. But when they lose, it's all his fault. I'm gonna say it to you like this. Again, Super Bowl was 2 years ago. He was the coach of a Super Bowl team. Look at some of these other guys. Would you rather have Brian Daboll right now? I mean, come on. Would you rather have Mike McCarthy right now? Like what? Like some of these teams that go through coach after coach after coach after coach after coach. I heard a guy at Grotto's today say the Eagles should have kept Doug Peterson. I love Doug. He got us a Super Bowl. I love him, but man, he's about to get fired from the freaking Jaguars right now. Like, eh, you hope that after the bye, well, you know, after the bye, you're going to get Devontae Smith and AJ Brown back and Lane Johnson. So, with that being said, I think that the offense and with Saquon and with Goddard, I think the offense will be fine. Even if Jalen continues to turn the ball over every game, I still think they'll be fine. I'm not excusing that at all, by the way. This defense they are in trouble. They are in absolute trouble. If you cannot get any pressure on the quarterback, you're in trouble. Jalen Carter, great game against the Saints, had cramps this game. We wait all year for this, guys. We wait all year for this, right? For football, we wait all year for it, and it's just it's games like these, man, where you just again, I'm so happy I don't have to watch this team next week. I'm so happy. But and as you know, I don't dress like this on game day. I already took all my game day shit off. What else to complain about? Was there anything positive from this game? Saquon Barkley, again, just a beast. I think Cam Jurgens, when he wasn't cramped, I think he played a good game. Defensively, Quinyon Mitchell, rookie. Oh, by the way, he was a positive. By the way, you want to talk about an absolute disgrace. You want to talk about an absolute disgrace. Not only were they bad on offense, which you knew was going to be the case, not only were they fucking terrible on defense, like grotesque, like throw up in the bathroom style of bad defense. Special teams, bruh. Special teams. Cooper DeJean, this kid, making his first start as a punt returner, and Isaiah Rodgers, who this is the first game we saw Isaiah Rodgers decides that he wants to, after the defense finally got to stop, and that's few and far between. He decides he's going to push a defender into Cooper DeJean so he muffs the punt. Then, in what might be the best tackle that the Eagles had all game, and I'm not even joking. Keely Ringo, he's trying to make a fair catch, tackles him. I I don't understand. It's like a joke. Like an absolute joke. It's like these guys said, you know what? It's 110 degrees. We have a bye next week. All of our guys are injured on offense. Let's not even try. Let's go out there and just tackle each other. Make it. Let's give us something to laugh about during team meetings. That's all I got, guys. I'm again. Elbow is feeling a million times better. I've got a really crazy ass. That's where they did the cut. They just kind of cleaned it up. That's why there was no content last week. I mean, this thing was infected. It was pretty bad. Actually, yeah. So this thing's healing up better. Even with my elbow, I probably could have made better tackles than the Eagles defense did today. But with that being said, guys, man, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll talk to you guys during the week. Go Birds. I'll see you later.